Hello, this tutorial will show how the OpenGL Directional Lights work in AccuTrans 3D. To adjust the lights, you use the Adjust Lights and Materials dialog box, which is opened by using the Layers Adjust Lights and Materials menu item or clicking on this icon. There are 8 available lights plus a global ambient light. And the lights have 3 properties: ambient, diffuse, and specular light that they can put out. And the materials have corresponding ambient, diffuse, and specular reflection properties. If for either the light or the material the RGB values are 0, no light will be output. Now, by default, the light is always attached to the camera, so you can rotate the scene, but the light stays the same. So if I take and I rotate the object around, you can see that it's always lit up. And you can position where you want the light by moving on the horizontal, vertical, or the in and out axes. Now I'll turn off the directional light, and the scene is completely black because nothing's being lit up. And I'll click on the global ambient light. It's black now, and if I raise it, our image will start showing up. And usually you won't use very much of this, but there is light in the scene that bounces all over the place and you don't know where it comes from. So when you set some global ambient light, it lights up the whole model with the amount you put on it. Now I'll go back to light 1 and have to click on there, and it's on. And then to adjust it, you just use the scroll bars. So if I use this one, we're fully up, so I can make it darker, or I can bring all the values back up again. Now I'll turn off light 1 again, and I'll turn on light 4 and bring up the properties. And we can see here from the light position that it's a little bit different than the first light, and if I take and I rotate the model around, it's lit up on all the sides. Now if I take and click on rotate with scene, the light is now attached to the scene rather than to the camera. So when we rotate the model, the light rotates with the model. So we're looking at the back of the model right now, so it's dark. And if I rotate it around, you can see the scenes change and the sides light up. And we have the in and out property, so the light is all the way out of the monitor right now. So if I move the light in, it goes past the middle and will end up on the other side. And now if I it's dark here, but if I rotate the model around, the black is now all lit up. Now we have you might want to simulate using night goggles. So I'll turn off light 4 and turn on light 8 and bring its properties up, and so it's like the other ones, and so we go around and we see the camera. Now I chose for the night vision goggles just green with no red and blue, and you can use whatever color you want. And then we can just change the amount that we see in the scene by moving it up or down. And if we wanted, we could add a little bit of ambient to the scene, which will bring it up. And then if we bring up specular, I could also use a little specular in the scene. Go back to diffuse, and if I turn the green down, we still have some of the objects showing up because of the ambient and specular settings. And so that brings up the goggles. Now if I go over to the DLL, you can give your customers any control over the light that you want. It can be from nothing to lots of control. So I have the three things set up. I have an examine mode set up where I can rotate around and yeah, the model's all lit up. Or I can have a sun tracking mode, and it automatically switches to a different background color that I have set. And now if I rotate the model around, we've got a dark side, we've got a light side, and I've only given them control over the total intensity of the model. So if I wanted to bring up the ambient, I could just bring up the ambient and put a little specular on and lower the diffuse down. And then if I wanted to go to night goggles, I've done the same thing. I've set it up, and now I changed the background to a dark pitch black color so it looks better for the goggles, and I have position control so I can change around. And then if global ambient, now we'll say it was the sun was there's a little bit of moonlight out, so we'll want the object to show up a bit because of the moonlight, so I can bring up the global ambient light a bit. There it's up. Turn the light back on, and we've got the light on. So this is all. This concludes this tutorial. This is all you have to do to use lights in AccuTrans 3D and its DLL.